Hey everyone, I told you this was going to be a wild year with all kinds of really cool projects where we show you what we're capable of, showing you all the different products from end to end. This is Fred's car barn, I guess we're calling it, but this is a rather large garage that we're going to be doing some things we've never done before. We're going to be adding some color, which is outside of the normal OG design. Kyle's been working on this for at least a year. And so we're happy to take you along this journey of taking the garage from very similar to what we had set up in Atlanta, where the construction's done, but we're going to take you through all the fun stuff, the flooring, lighting, cabinets, installing all the different parts and pieces that go into making what I think is a great garage. So Fred handed me his Amex, and I worked with Kyle for a year and a half and said, let's build something special. I think you're really going to enjoy this. You're going to want to stay tuned. All right, so we want to introduce the project to you. We're going to get into all the detail over the course of the next, how many episodes, Mike? Dozens of episodes. We'll see how this goes, but we have a lot of cool stuff that we've chosen to put in this garage. Fred, how big is this place?
The overall garage is right at 2,700 square feet and another 250 square feet with the upstairs,
the upstairs
as
office.
well. So it's right at 3,000 square feet.
And when did you start production?
We started
construction.
Construction we started 15 months ago, and before that we went through a year of planning with the architect and with you guys, with Kyle.
Yep.
For all of the details of lighting and so forth.
So now we're at the stage where you got your CO.
Yeah.
And then we flew out from Florida to, what do we call it, Central California? South Central California?
Central Coast, yeah.
Central Coast, California.
Yeah.
And we're here in this beautiful weather, in this beautiful property. Yeah. We're staying in the guest house. Kyle is staying in the other guest quarters, and Mike and Andrea are staying in your sister-in-law's house, which she's right next door. Yeah. So we're going to be living posh. That was my requisite, is if we're going to come do this again, I'm not staying in a bus ever again. So base concrete floor, you have drains. We're going to be doing Swisstrax. We're going to do a little pop of color in here as well, which is going to be really cool.
And our 3 lifts.
3 lifts.
Yep. So 2 jumbo 7s and a 9, right?
9.
Yep.
9 in the center, 2 jumbo 7s.
Gotcha. And these are all the German lifts.
Yep.
So they're the latest and greatest. I'm really excited to show people, Nussbaums are the best lifts on the planet. And we had a couple of years there where we had a hard time getting them, and now they're readily available. So we're going to show you why you're going to want one of those.
Sure.
Ceiling height is what, 20?
It's 22 feet to the black ceiling.
In order for us to do this project, we have 10 days to do this. We needed the lighting done first.
Yeah.
And so this is all Cree LS, DMF. The DMF is 4K, Kyle. Yes. The Cree is 5K. They're on different zones. So this will be a multi-use space for cars as well as possible events and stuff.
You can see having maybe a group dinner in here, or a cars and coffee kind of an event, and with TV here, a Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So Swisstrax throughout. This is not, you have drains in here, so you could do some wet work, but we have a wash area that's dedicated. Insulated doors, you powder coated. We're going to go through all these details, but powder coated tracks, which is high lift tracks, are awesome. We're going to do Dynaudio, so we're going to have full. I talked them into Dynaudio Core NAD M17 Master Series preamp. We're going to do 5.1. It's going to be 5.2 surround in here, which is nonsense and ridiculous, but we're going to do it anyway. So that'll be, the TV will be centered on the wall with Dynaudio, and then notice the coolest feature. What color are we calling? What is the actual?
Lista green.
Lista green color. The Prevost piping is also green to match. You have some Sonic cabinets that you had powder coated to match.
This is a Sonic cabinet painted, yeah.
So we're going to be, he's making me step outside of my comfort zone. We're adding some color. Maybe I'll add some color in my future life. You know, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, as long as it's black, gray, or white.
Kyle's signature black ceiling, which creates, I guess, volume, makes the ceiling kind of disappear. Maddie's Harbor Gray on the walls, right? And flat paint always. And we have this room will clearly transform in the next couple of days or a week or so. You can see pile of awesome Dynaudio, Nussbaum, Swisstrax, lots of cool stuff that we're going to be installing here over the next few days. So Fred, explain the concept of the wash bay and how you'd set this up here. You didn't want to sacrifice what's going to be the future prep kitchen, right?
The back end of the garage, we wanted to have kind of three functions. We wanted to have a tool room function, a kitchen, a break room function that could cover events, and just kind of a multi-purpose
like
room.
A prep kitchen type.
Like a prep kitchen. Yep. And then enough room to get a wash bay in.
So come on in here.
I think took advantage of the kind of the weather here, because this is kind of a half and half, that it's you can imagine a car kind of halfway in here and halfway out. And the way the sun hits the building here, we always are in a shaded environment. So
it's like a perfect line.
Yeah, so it's a perfect line with the slot drain and all that, and our pressure washers on the wall. I think is going to turn out really nice.
It's really awesome.
Kind of taking advantage of the.
Anytime I can, I want to wash outside, you know. But the problem is always the sun.
Yeah.
And so the way the sun rises and sets here, you can see that line. That line pretty much stays consistent all day long.
Right.
And so then, you know, if you have a larger SUV or something, or a larger truck, you could have it half in, half out.
And then the other thing, my wife has horses, so we want to have the ability, to clean, wash a horse trailer, some other kind of thing out there right on the pad.
It's the secondary drain.
Yeah.
So we're going to have dual Kranzle setup on the left wall here. You guys are going to get the first look at the OG DI solution, the very first serial number 1 prototype, not production, prototype. So when we have our production, we'll probably swap that at some point in the future. But Fred was kind enough to be the test dummy.
Sure.
Luckily we got drains here, so if something explodes, it'll drain out the drain. So, but he has all kinds of blocking to make Mike's work a little bit easier. So the pressure washer system's going on this wall. We're doing some Dynaudio audio in here as well, which is going to be really, really cool. And this gets Swisstrax flooring too.
Yeah.
So we're not tackling this room to start in this project, in this stage of the project. This will be stage like 1.5 or something. Right. And so this is where you'll be doing a fridge.
Yeah, you can imagine a kitchen array in here, in an L, and maybe some kind of server array along this wall. So as kind of a prep kitchen. So if you're having an event outside or out in the main bay, this is where all the prep can occur, and just kind of have your coffee pot here or whatever for general use in the building. And then over on this side is going to be where tool room and
our air compressor's going in there, and
in the corner. And wrap around tool room, and then a half bath there as well in this part. And then upstairs will eventually be an office overlooking the main bay.
Yeah, there's a window up that's covered.
Yeah. We're going to open that up and have the outlook there. What do you call it that you have at Helen?
The simulator?
Yeah, the simulator.
The racing sim, yeah.
Something that, we got an office over in another building. Right. So what can we do that would be neat in there? Maybe there are some suggestions out there.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, as we get into the project, I'll be up there working. We'll get a feel for the place. When everything goes and starts to go into position, we'll get a real good idea where things should go, how they should go. It's one thing to design it on paper and then design it in CAD, but then to actually physically do it, we tend to make some adjustments along the way. But you've done such a great job planning. Kyle and his team have been working with you for countless hours. It's hard to explain how much goes into a project this big, but
Yeah, the iterative nature of this has really made it work, you know, and what all the fine point that occurred here, and really, that's really what I feel very excited about having this.
It's going to be wild. All right, everybody. Today's technically day 1. Day 0 was the travel day. We're here. Mike's making a Home Depot run to get all the stuff that he needs. Kyle and I are getting the lifts ready, but the first project to tackle is we wanted to get the lifts off the pallets, and then we got to, we'll floor level this to get it exactly perfect, kind of like we did in the Atlantic garage. You saw us do that. But Jumbo 7 on the left, or sorry, the right, Jumbo 7 on the left, Jumbo 9, the 9,000 capacity lift goes in the center. We're going to be showing you, these are, I misspoken in the original tour. These Jumbo 7s are, you can see the date on here, 2022. These were the American assembled lifts. That's a German assembled lift. From here on out, all the Jumbos are German assembled, German manufactured. So this is essentially the same lift that I have, where the tank, the pump is not a submerged Bosch. We'll explain that more as we kind of dig into this stuff. But at HQ, we're going to be doing all German lifts. But these, no question, best lifts on the planet. They're really amazing. This is like unboxing on steroids. This is my, when you need a hammer and crowbar to unbox your stuff, that's when you know you're at next level of unboxing. Crazy, Mike. You know, I was never able to, you know, I never worked in jeans before because it might be a rubbing and sweaty, and like, I guess being 30 pounds lighter helps, you know? Better too, so I don't get my legs all freaking cut up. I like to get into the last things first. Yeah. I like to eat dessert first, if you know what I mean. Well, this is what I know how to do. And so rather than me sitting around waiting for Mike to help me do it, I can work on this stuff. And then I can assist Mike in between. But I just can't wait. I just want to jump into this. So what I'm figuring out here is that what we're doing is a 5.1 surround, actually 5.2, 2 subwoofers. So we're going to have one sub out of phase. We'll see how that goes. I ought to be able to fix that in software. So we'll have an out of phase core sub here, and we'll have a in phase core sub up there, which hopefully will help, you know, paint the room with some bass. And so we have 2 core, you know, 2 core subwoofers, with 3 core 59s across the front and 2 core 7s in the back.
The placement of the outlets were meant to like have the speaker covered.
Well, why don't I just put the speaker on the cabinet? It's perfect.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
So that's what we planned on.
Okay.
We did a couple extra.
Oh, that's even better then, because then I can angle it exactly the way I want. Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Look at that. It's like I planned it that way.
Mm-hmm. And the speaker will sit there. Yeah, sometimes you learn every time you do something, you learn some additional adjustments. I might move this 6 inches or that 6 inches, but the amount of planning and time that Kyle and team put into this, it seems, you know, after you see it here, it seems so simple, right? But it's really not. You have a lot of things going, you know, have to go together. You have air, you have power, you have internet or Ethernet, you have, you know, audio, you know, so low voltage. You have wiring for lights and positioning of lights. So there's a lot that goes into that process in the beginning. And it's a lot better if you can do it right and not have to cut drywall, you know. And then in some cases, if you make it wrong, you know, if you have something in the completely wrong position, you may not even be able to do it. So it may eliminate some of your ability to do some of the things you want. So planning is key, and that's what we specialize in.
Okay, so we got the lifts uncrated. What I'm going to do is get a collapsed height, just to verify that because what we want is when Swisstrax is in, you want the top of the Swisstrax flush with the top of the lift. So we uncrated them just to get that measurement. These are poured a little on the low side. So what I've done is I've taken some spray foam and dammed up where the hoses the lines will go through to the control unit, and also on either side of the where they pass through from one side of the lift to the other. So I've done all 3 of those. So next thing to do is like I said, get a measurement and then get our floor leveler mixed up, and then I'll get these leveled and set up so that they're the correct height. And basically what we want is 4.3 inches from top of Swisstrax to bottom of finish the pit. So I think we're anywhere between 1/8 to, in some areas, a little over 1/4 low. So that's the next step. And once that's set up, we'll be able to drag the lifts in here. It won't be today because you have to leave at least 24 hours or so. We'll drag the lifts in, get them set up, and then we can run the lines over, get the control unit set up, get the lifts up in the air, so that way we can get the anchor bolts in. I bought the anchor bolts. I've got our bit. I just need to, I'm gonna have to rent a SDS Plus hammer drill. I've got that reserved from our favorite place, Mike. Yeah, so while this is setting up, the next thing I'm gonna do is start working on the pressure washers. I'm gonna get the shelves installed, get the pressure washers on the shelves, get everything plumbed up, figure out what lines we may or may not need, because we can have OG make some custom lengths for us and ship them out.
That's right.
So we may have to do that. So I wanna get that going as soon as possible.
Show us.
Yeah, I've started to unbox things. So initially, I guess the guys didn't have, maybe they didn't have an idea where the receptacles should go, so they just put them here. This is where their pressure washers are going. So these I'm gonna remove the GFCIs, put one here, and put blank covers over here, and these are just gonna basically be abandoned. And because Fred says that they did a 20 amp dedicated here and here, so I'll go ahead and swap those. We're gonna put a shelf roughly this height and a shelf roughly this height, and then we're gonna plug into there, get everything configured here. Our new prototype DI is gonna go over here, plumb into it. Then we've got a 3-way valve that will split between this room and that side. So he wants to have a separate ability to have a separate hose out there to blow things off. And then here we'll have just our diverter valves that'll basically, they're 2-way, so it'll be either on or off, where we can isolate one pressure washer and the other. So that's what all this material is here. So I was just kind of inventorying. We don't need the 5th, so we just need these 4 2-way valves, 1 3-way valve. We've got our vibration clamps that mount. This is how we mount the valves to the wall. So we go like this, and then we put a screw through. That's all got blocking in there, so that'll hold the valves in place. And yeah, we should be good. I think this is what I'm worried about the most, because I know we have pressure washers. I know we have the shelves. I know we have the reel. So reel, that's the other thing. Reel is going to be underneath the pressure washers here, rather than DI. DI will be off to the left. So yeah, lots to do. A lot of Prevost piping throughout. I think I've got to penetrate, go through the wall somewhere to get out in that shop. So, because we're going to run water in here from elsewhere. So rather than the water coming out of the wall, it's coming through Prevost piping.
Oh,
So,
is that right? Okay.
yeah.
How you doing, Mike? You doing all right?
I'm doing all right. I'm getting hungry, Mike.
I think we need to grill this.
We're going to grill some steaks out here. You know, it's nice that frankly, we're spoiled rotten. I mean, we come here and work. This is, you know, it's a lot different than living in a coach in a swamp.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, it's awfully bright, and I have to adjust my settings.
Well, I get it adjusted, Mike. This is important footage here. I'm letting all the heat out.
Okay.
You got it? Got it? All right, there we go. All right. So we got some nice Snake River Farms. Look how close we are to the actual garage.
Yeah, this is quite nice.
Don't let the heat out. Don't let the heat out. Just
got
open
your
it.
steak on there.
Don't worry, we got it.
You got it on there. Just making sure. Just making sure. We had to make sure.
It's like, you're gonna feed me, right? My tummy's hungry. Yeah, we got you. Yeah, these are, I did a little taste test on this one here, so I'll eat this one. But they're really good.
Talk to me about pepper and after. There's some controversy around.
So if you put pepper on first, it has a tendency to burn. So I salt them really well first and then pepper them after the fact.
Yeah.
You don't really want your pepper burned. You know, salt doesn't do that. And I can't take credit for that. I used to pepper them too, and then I couldn't figure out why. Well, it doesn't taste as good. Then when you pepper them after, they definitely taste better.
Look at you guys.
This is not a bad setup here. You know, you're spoiling us.
Here.
So we're using our concrete leveler for finishing off the bottom of the pits for the scissor lifts. So approximately a little over a gallon of water. I can kind of judge by the consistency, but it's usually a gallon to a little over a gallon of water per bag. So water in first.
Oh yeah, this is the best part. I got a real love of floor leveler for some reason.
Yeah, the aesthetics after the fact.
Yeah. Makes me think of soft serve ice cream, that's why.
Eighth inch high.
Good, got one bracket in, I'm gonna mount the second one here. Luckily we have, there's a header, a 2x10, and then there's OSB. Kyle had to run to get a little longer screws. So we got some 3-inchers. I'm putting 8 in each. That way it's really, really solid. So you can see this one here. I mean, these speakers are 60 pounds, 50 pounds a piece, something like that. So I wanna make sure we got a good solid footing. And so we're also going to be able to, angle them down slightly toward the listening position. But it's nice at times that you get them up and out of the way. That way you don't have to mess with it. And, in a perfect world, you'd have them at ear height, but then they're in the way. In the garage, there's nothing perfect about the audio experience in the garage, and so we make concessions and then we tune for that. And these speakers make up for so many, imperfections in a room, and acoustically that I'm telling you, I can't. The reason I'm doing it is I want to turn it on. Not the last day, the first day. That's the goal.
Not really. It does tend to flow out level on its own. I just do a little bit of troweling, but just to help it get to where it needs to go. The thing is, it's easier to put more in than it is to take it out. So I don't want to overfill it. So what I'm looking for is 3 1/4. The top end. Right there's 3 1/4. We're right on.
God, this thing's heavy. Okay. It's gotta go straight. Hold on. Oh boy. How am I gonna do this? Maybe we should get the scissor lift.
You can do it. Come on.
This is not ideal.
Just press it up there.
Yeah.
This.
All right, I got it. Only 3 more to do. 2 more to do. Okay. It'll come down. Let's see how it looks. I might want to come out one. This is going to sound amazing. Yeah, the tweeters, I know it's counterintuitive, but Dynaudio's design, the tweeter woofer goes on the outside, the big woofer goes on the inside in the stereo pair. And then the center channel, our next system would be to do 2. So that way you'd have double center channel, if you will. Yeah, that's what my next project is going to do. At HQ, we'll do double center channel. That way you can have the full symmetrical look. I don't know, Fred. I think we need 2 center channels to get symmetry. All right, let's hoist the other one up there. The other one's all wired up and ready to go.
Well, we've gone through 4 bags of self-leveler. We have Fred went to go get 4 more. This one's pretty low. Those aren't too bad. This one was more than a ½ inch. It was about 5/8 low. So I used quite a bit in here. So we'll get the other 3 done when he gets back. Meantime, I'm gonna start laying out for the pressure washer and get that kind of figured out. We'll get some masking tape and kind of lay that out. All right, so I'm doing a little bit of electrical work. So no big deal. Before they actually did the electrical, you know, they had moved this stuff around. We already talked about that. Blah, blah. Okay, take 2, mother. Sorry. All right. Okay, so a little bit of electrical work. As we had mentioned before, they put the GFCIs here. So we're mounting them over here. I'm putting cover plates here. So that's why I'm just going through the process of removing the GFCIs out of here. This will be just a junction box through wire here. So I'll wire up the blacks together and the whites together. And then we'll have GFCIs where they go. Shelves are gonna go right about here. So anyway, I'll get these done, get these tied together, put cover plates on. Then I'm gonna get the shelves mounted. And then we can set the the Kranzles in place and start rearranging, you know, figuring out where plumbing, if we got the right lengths for hoses. We'll get some measurements because we can make our custom length hoses at OG, curated, get them sent here.
Did we have a wirefish here? Did you find one?
I did not. I didn't look for one though. I need wire nuts too, so I was kind of waiting for Fred to get back. Anyway, pardon the interruption. So anyway, I'm going to get this done, and then we'll start mounting some things. And then when Fred gets back with our leveling mix, I'll start putting leveling mix in.
All right, so I got the TV unboxed here. I got the bracket on the display. And then I'm having to make a little bit of a compromise because where the outlet is placed and the bracket's going, so I'm coming down 3 inches. So the TV is going to be 5 inches, so I have a 5-inch gap off the top of the countertop, which is fine. So I have 5 inches on the bottom and roughly 6 inches on top. But I'm going to get the sucker, you know, off the floor and mounted, and then I do need to order some HDMI cables. So I'm going to order some cable to run through the Smurf tube.
Okay, call it good.
So pass the eyeball test.
And it should push against, right? Or is it on?
It's on.
Yeah, so Michael, if you were going to install this, what you need to do is you got to determine where we want is 20 inches spacing apart is what we're looking for. That's what design team had come up with. I think I made Matt's a little tighter, but since we're not doing our old CR spotless underneath, it gives us more room, so we can go a little lower with the bottom pressure washer. So the top pressure washer is going to be right about where we used to do the single, which is 68.5 to the top of shelf. Ours is going to be about 71. So anyway, what I'm doing is I'm getting 20 inches below between the two. So I'm kind of beholden to where these receptacles are because we really want the shelf to look something like this when it's on. So we want the shelf about a 1/2 inch below receptacle so that the power cord can come right into it and it's not way out of the way or way tall or anything. So then the next shelf will be also 20 inches. Now, the receptacles are not where we had specified. They're a little higher. They were supposed to be basically 20 inches apart and they're not. So this one's going to be a little further than this one as far as the distance top of shelf to bottom of receptacle. But I think it's going to be okay because we want to keep them as tight as possible so all our hoses that we have figured out for dual pressure washers will work. We don't have to get special lengths. So what I did is I figured where the first shelf went. I used tape on there so I'm not marking the wall up. And then I measured 20 inches up. That's where the bottom of our top shelf will be. So get that laid out with a level. Now, I didn't bring any levels, but Fred was kind enough to let me use these plastic Stabila copies. They're the same color as Stabila. So anyway, these are fine Stanley levels that he purchased at the local Harbor Freight for 38 cents each. So anyway, I love you, Fred. I'm just kidding. So anyway, so I'm using them. The 4-foot level we found is definitely off. So I'm using the 24-inch level. So how you check a level to see if it's off, right? We make a level line. So we're level. If you flip the level and it reads differently, you know the level's bad. 4-foot level is definitely bad. So we're using the...
Although that line looks off.
Well, that's because my tape is wrong. The line is level, the tape is not. Okay, so we went to bottom of tape, we're way off. So anyway, I just don't want to mark the wall up. The 4-footer, if you're going to level something that matters, don't use that one.
Maybe the 4-footer needs.
You can use it as a pry bar or something.
Donate it. We've done it.
Well, it's also a good crutch to have. So look, the level set, it was good.
Yeah, the level set. It's crooked. Oh, it's crooked. I used my level.
Exactly.
It's one of those sort of levels. The last shelf is the brackets on, so
Just split it on that outflow side.
that's it. All right. You good, Mike? Okay, so we're going to close out this video here. It is the next morning. We kind of had a late night last night. Matt had cross fittings to do. We picked him up, went and did some grocery shopping, came back and ate. We meant to close out the video last night, but here it is early next morning. So this is Thursday morning. So let's kind of go over what we did yesterday. Yesterday was our first full day here to get things done. Speakers are done. The Dynaudio Core 59s are up. We've got the TV installed. Matt wasn't too sure about this TV. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it is a garage. So he would have probably spent, I don't know, 4 or 5 times as much maybe. but you know, I think it'll be fine. So the pits are now, got the self-leveler in. They are dry and ready to install the lifts. We'll try to get those slid in today, get some hydraulic lines figured out, get some lengths, and then get those made. So that way we can start Swisstrax. So if we get these in and out of the way, we can start Swisstrax from the garage doors back. We have some more Dynaudio speakers to install in the wash bay. There's a couple of them that go here and here. So maybe we'll get those done today. I started on the Kranzle, obviously. So this is where I've left off. I've got the shelves in. I installed one Kranzle custom length for the cord. I moved the GFCIs from here to here. They're on the same circuit. They are dedicated. So we've got this one installed yet. I'll probably work on some plumbing today, get that kind of set up. We do have to order some parts and pieces, some custom length hoses and things. So I'll try to get as much done as I can today so we can get those ordered ASAP.
So that'll be the next video.
That'll be on the next video. Episode 2, Michael.
That's right, Mike.
Yeah.
Right.
since you're actually out there editing as we're going.
Real time. So
Yeah, real time.
Can pretty much be up to date.
Yeah, that's good. Like keep the people happy. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else we did. Really, nothing.
We need a comment down below.
Yeah, if what, Mike?
I don't know. We need to come up with something right now.
See, let's see what should we do. Comment down below if you think we should get Matt on a horse again and get him horseback riding. There's lots of horses around here. So there's Circle Bar B up by the Reagan Ranch we can take Maddie to do a little trail riding. So if you think we should take Maddie trail riding, let us know.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's end it here and then we'll move forward.
Yep. I like it, Mike.
All right, like and subscribe, please.
Please.
We need it. Yeah, Mike.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else to say, Michael. I think we're good. I think we're caught up to speed.
So that you can feel uncomfortable.
I don't feel uncomfortable, Mike. I'll just stand here and stare at you for a while.
Be obsessed.